Good morning everyone, it's Jim from JAGfx.com and it is currently Monday the 6th of March 2017. Appreciate it's been a fair while between videos. So I have been in Australia for a couple of weeks and it's just too hard to do the videos whilst over there. So what we are trading at the moment is I am trading both the daily charts and the 4-hour charts on the same 19 pairs, I believe it is now. So what I'll do with the video is I'll just run through the daily chart analysis. So and I'll make mention of any 4-hour charts that I find relevant. Just a quick look at the news this week. It's a fairly big week. Nothing much today, but Tuesday certainly we've got the Australian interest rates. It's not expected to change, supposed to remain at 1.5%. Obviously got the speeches after that. Tomorrow also got out of Canada, we've got the trade balance, so there could be some movement there. Crude oil on Wednesday out of the US. Thursday maybe a bit of a market mover. We've got the Euro minimum bid rate, which is their interest rate, which is not expected to change either, still at 0%. Unemployment claims on Thursday to the US, then non-farm payroll or non-farm employment change out of the US on Friday. Normally that's the first Friday of the month, but for some reason it wasn't this month. They've put it back to this Friday, which is the 10th. So that could be a market mover. So there's a bit of news happening, not too much, but doesn't really worry us too much on the daily charts anyway. So let's just run through the pairs. First up, Aussie New Zealand. Probably not a good one to start for me. I'm in a sell here. You can, if you remember from my videos, the vertical line, either red or blue, red signifies a sell, and the horizontal line is the actual entry level. So as you can see, it's gone way against me. And we've got actually new sort of buy sort of signals. So what I'm looking for here is another sell, probably higher, to bring down and try and at least get out of break even or better. So there's no stop in place on this trade, and so we're just letting it run against me, and eventually hopefully I'll get another sell signal. As you can see, MACD platinum is still above the 0 level, and I'm expecting that to head down. That's the plan in a way. So we're in a sell there, not looking too good. Aussie USD in a sell here. We're coming to the MAs. I've already closed half and my stops are better than break even, so it's all good. Nice trade. You can see the trend lines on mark. Red is bearish divergence, green is normally bullish divergence, and if we see a aqua blue line, that's just a trend line. I think there's one on this chart, yeah, on the Aussie New Zealand. Aqua blue line, that's just a trend line I draw. Right, Euro Japanese yen. I'm in two trades here, hence the two blue vertical lines, also two blue horizontal lines. A yellow dashed line like this horizontal line is my overall break even. So I took a buy up here, that was my first one for 0.02. My second buy was this one down here at 0.06 lots. So there's my break even. So at the moment I'm just letting it run, hopefully it'll go higher. You can see the green bullish divergence trend lines there, so it's all good in that trade. Pound New Zealand, nothing in the daily. If you see other trades here, they're on the 4-hour chart. So I'm in a buy on the 4-hour chart, but on the daily I'm in nothing. There's not much happening there, just a nice trend line across the bottom. Just have to wait and see. MAs are down, so ideally wait for it to roll over to the downside, take a sell trade. USD Canada. Oh, here we go. This pair really gives me some grief. But not to worry, we'll work out it. I'm in a sell on the daily. It's this line down here, so I'm a long way away from it. But I've drawn these red trend lines in place looking for possible divergence. It's not necessarily been confirmed yet because there's been no red dots on either the MACD Platinum or the QMP filter. So, but if those red dots were to appear, say the next couple of candles, then there would certainly be bearish divergence there. And what else we got? This trend line across the bottom here, nothing else happening there. This green dotted line up here is a sell actually on the 4 hour. So I'm in a sell on 4 hour and the daily, and neither looking that good at the moment. But only early days. All a part of the plan. Aussie, Canadian. In the 2 sells here, which has gone a bit ugly. So one for 0.02, the other one for 0.06. My break even's down here, so I'm a long way above it at the moment. We've had another buy, blue dots, even though it's not a buy signal technically, but it is a reversal. So now looking for another red dot on both to take another sell, and that will hopefully bring our break even down. The next sell will be for 0.10, so it's 5 times. And MAs are starting to spread up, trend's starting to head up. You can see I've drawn a trend line along here. Not looking that good at the moment, but again, it's all part of the plan, so we just have to be patient and wait for it to come to us. Aussie Swiss franc in a sell here, nil stop in places yet. You can see my levels, there's divergence, broke the trend line. Looking good at the moment, heading down towards the MAs. We're in a big uptrend here, so I've just got to keep an eye on this. As soon as I get a signal to reverse, I'll be starting to take action, like close out half, move stop and break even, etc. But in the meantime, it's looking okay. Aussie Japanese yen, nothing doing on this. Pretty flat actually. I think it was in the trade in the daily, and I closed out of it for a very small profit. I've just made some notes on the chart here just to give me an idea. I can see the trend is up looking at the MAs. Not sure why I've got that red, that's from the previous trade, probably that red trend line across the top there. But at the moment it's very flat, and the only trades you can see on there, the lines you see from the 4 hour trade. Euro Aussie, in a buy trade on this one, just get rid of that line, no need for it. So here's a buy here, and I closed out half this morning on the open and moved my stop to plus 20, I think it is, on the remaining part of the trade. We're against the MAs. We've just come up towards the MAs there. There's a 200 plus pips there for profit, so I closed half, protected the second half. At the moment I've got no reason to take further action, so what I've done so far is pretty good. You see the green trend lines there showing bullish divergence, so we'll just sit on that at the moment. It's all good. British pound USD, you can see we're in a nice downtrend here. Took the sell trade, and what have we got? Stop now, break even, so I've closed half. Stop now, break even on this sell trade. It's still heading down, but it's sort of grinding a bit. I've drawn these green trend lines in here to get ready for a possible reversal. There was a buy signal on the 4 hour, which I missed, which would have been a nice little signal, but not to be. So at the moment, the pound's been a bit ugly for the last couple of months. This really hasn't done much at all. So it's just a bit of a grind. But at the moment, our sell's looking all right and profits are locked in. USD, Swiss franc. In a sell here. Red dot here, red dot there. And price has gone higher, I've got against me. I've drawn this trend line here. And if I get because the sell signal's still valid, there's been no green dots on either indicator. If this trend line, this blue aqua line here gets broken, I'm going to take another sell there for 0.06 3 times. And we'll work this out, because it looks like it wants to roll over, but it's just not happening yet. But the MACD's platinum's now starting to roll over. So I hope that makes sense. So looking basically for a clean break of this trend line, this blue line, and I'll take another sell trade. Where are we? USD, Japanese yen. We're in a buy here, and it is going sideways, this pair. drawn a couple of trend lines here. You can see it had bullish divergence. I'm in a buy here. I've closed half already, moved my stop up to a level which is, if it gets stopped out, then overall the whole trade would be a break even. So basically the profit I took there, I kept my stop under the entry point the same amount of pips. So it's overall break even. It's going sideways. I'm not that impressed with it. And as you know, this morning I took a sell on the 4 hour, so sort of hedging my bets a bit. But we have a blue dot down here and we've got a blue dot there, so at the moment it's buy on the daily, but I'm not totally convinced on it. Pound Aussie, let's have a look here. I'm in a buy on the daily, and I think I'm going to sell on the 4 hour, yep, so I've sort of hedged my bets here. Both, I think I'm locking in a minus 40 pips lost so far, but early days. We're just about a double bottom on price here. I'm against the MAs. The MAs are certainly on the daily heading down. It's evenly spread out, and it's not a quick drop by any means, but it's certainly downward. You can see it. It's quite obvious. My buy's in here somewhere, so it is been going sideways for quite a while, a few days here. There was regular bullish divergence, hence my taking trade, and hopefully it's double bottom. It's not quite a double bottom. If you do these trend lines, see how it's a bit jagged like that? Just double click on it and get these 3 dots up, and you can move it, and you'll see when it flattens out, gets rid of that jaggedness when it's close like that, then you've got a flat level trend line. So that's flat, and we've got a little spike through, but to me that's a double bottom. I'll just put that's fine. Alright, let's move on. New Zealand, oh here we go, we're in a buy in this trade, New Zealand USD, up here somewhere, and we had divergence. I've drawn a trend line here, hopefully it'll hold. Obviously we're losing big time on this, a couple hundred pips. Looking for another buy trade where I'll go 0.06, 3 times the original trade, which is 0.02, and we'll work our way up. So you can see this thing moves in waves, so that's what I'm relying on it to head back up again. It looks bad at the moment, there's no stop in place. I know some people don't like trading like that, or against trading like that. I understand that, but for me, I know the risks. My money management's under control, so it's all good. My way of trading, I'm comfortable doing it. I know other people won't be. I fully appreciate that. Right, Euro, New Zealand, nothing happening here. Trends down. Look, I'm not going to get into a trade here. Obviously, the next trade for me would be looking for the downside if it rolls over and comes down. That's all I can look at the moment, but nothing happening. Euro Canadian. In a buy trade here, you can see I've got it marked as a triple bottom. Maybe I'm 1, 2, 3. Even that came close. So good, healthy base there. Even though the MAs are down, there was that divergence also. I'm in a buy here. Went against me a little bit, up nicely. I've closed half. Stops now break even. Good trade, looking good. So I may take some further action if price gets up to the 240 LMA, which is the big thick grey. But no, it's looking good, that one. New Zealand Canadian, nothing at the moment. MAs are fairly flat and tight. This is a pair that can jam up really tight and be a real range. It's not a bad pair to trade actually, because it always seems to come back eventually. Not always, but most of the time. But at the moment, it's going a bit ugly on me, so I'll just keep an eye on it, see if I can draw some trend lines, look for some divergence, and see what signals present, but nothing doing at the moment. Euro pound, another flat one. There was a nice base, and I'm not sure why I didn't take the buy there. Probably could have taken one and would have been not a bad trade. There must have been a reason for it, and I just can't think of it at the moment. I may have just missed it whilst on holidays. This line marked as a 4-hour sell I've got, which isn't not looking that good, but it's all part of the plan still, so I'm not overly stressed about it. But at the moment on the daily, there's not much happening. Let's have a look at the last pair, Canada, Japanese yen. Again, not much happening. Just slowly grinding down on these lower highs, and pretty flat base at the moment on the lows. MAs are sort of up, but look like they're rolling over. MACD's doing nothing. So I'm thinking possibly if a buy signal presents, it might be worth having a look. There might be divergence there. There is. So if a buy present, I'd take it, but at the moment, nothing doing on that. So that's about it, guys. So as I said, there's a bit of news this week. Starts tomorrow, and with the non-farm payrolls on Friday, so just be careful of that, especially from the lower time frames. I'm going to be doing a bit of demo trading this week on the 1-hour charts, both the SAR method and this same trading method I'm referring to on these charts. I'm going to do 4 pairs on the 1-hour charts, and one of those pairs will be gold if you're interested in gold. It's not a pair I've traded much, and I don't really know much about it, but I'm willing to give it a go. So that's it. Enjoy your week. Keep your money management under control. Don't trade big. Don't revenge trade. all the above. And to all those people that have joined the Facebook group, there's been a few in the last few days. Welcome. Anyone that's bought the books and joined the email list or subscribe to the YouTube channel, thank you very much. It's all greatly appreciated. And if you have any questions or wish to chat about Forex in general, you can either email me at JAGfx33@gmail.com or get in the Facebook group and leave your comments there. All good. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend, and have a good week, and I'll chat to you in the Facebook group during the week. Cheers.